Dragon Ball Z is not an anime. It is an emotion, and the emotion is nostalgia. I still distinctly remember arguing with my parents to stay up at night and watch the late night airing of a new Dragon Ball Z episode. The animation, the opening, the key moments, all of it was magical. No matter what your stand is on the quality of Dragon Ball Z or what it has become, there is no person in this world who can argue with the fact that Dragon Ball Z is hands down in the top 5 of the most influential anime of all time. There is no doubt in my mind that DBZ is iconic and will stay that way for probably decades to come. But why? Why is DBZ so special? What is it about these angry men just screaming and fighting each other all the time that makes us want to scream too while chanting words that would make any sane person think you are mentally challenged? I think the real answers are not just hidden in the series itself. It is about two things outside the show that made it what it is, and those two things are the timing of the show and the aftermath. Let's focus on these points one by one. The timing of Dragon Ball Z's impact was extremely crucial. You might say it was one of its most lucky breakthroughs because Dragon Ball Z became just famous enough at the peak of the internet and online communities that now it was a medium through which your experiences were not only shared but resonated with thousands of people like never before. Hey, did you see that new Dragon Ball Z episode where Vegeta died? I still can't believe it, was the sentence said and heard by two people thousands of miles away from each other for probably one of the first times ever. And that is uniquely magical on its own. But pair that with the aftermath and what you have is the true father of shonen anime. Because the aftermath of DBZ was a shift in tide. A shift like never before. It was the first time in the history where the majority of entire generations of people were introduced to a whole new world. The world of anime, where there are no rules, no limitations. It was as if the bubble of imagination was burst. Now suddenly there are people who can jump as high as mountains, run as fast as a train or even faster. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's all Dragon Ball Z and nothing else. There are of course many other examples within modern media. But from an anime only perspective and how huge the community is now, Dragon Ball Z is definitely one of the biggest components of this shift. Because think about it, in the sea of goofy cartoons and silly motion pictures that rule the children's space, Dragon Ball Z felt like a refreshing hit of chaotic exhilaration while maintaining the perfect balance between innate seriousness of the show and goofy or comic moments that made us laugh and cry at times. To sum it all, the impact of Dragon Ball Z does not just come from the characters of the show or the power system, the story, or any other factor you would judge another anime by. It is something beyond that. Dragon Ball Z is the shift of multiple generations towards something that made them wonder, something that set their imaginations free. What would it be like to fly at speeds beyond human recognition? To have limitless possibilities? To put abstract concepts within the reach of your senses? It is a show that changed something within us, that made us open and more accepting to newer concepts and premises that are beyond a child's imagination. So next time you see a Dragon Ball Z fanboy comment, "But can he beat Goku though?" Don't get mad at them. Just say no. No one can. And there is a high probability that you just made the kid within that person who clings on to the happiness that the show gave them slightly more happy. Because that is the legacy of Dragon Ball Z.